very essential vitamin for our body, which our body cannot make by itself. We have to take this vitamin from outside, and this particular vitamin is very much essential for the functioning of the body, especially liver. So here we are talking about that vitamin, that is vitamin B12. So in today's video, basically we will talk about the vitamin B12, and today we will discuss about its introduction, its milestone history, what is its structure, what are the types of vitamin B12, and what is the mechanism, or you can say what is the synthesis and its industrial production. What are the various sources of vitamin B12, and what are the health benefits or the applications of vitamin B12, and what are the dietary recommendation intake, and what are the deficiencies of this particular vitamin through which one can know whether he or she is a deficient or they have balanced amount of this particular vitamin in their body. So vitamin B12 is also called as Cyno-Cobalamin. It is a water-soluble vitamins, as we have already discussed about the broadly classification of vitamins, that is water-soluble and fat-soluble. You can check their broadly classification in my previous video, that is vitamins. So here vitamin B12 is water-soluble vitamin with a key role in the normal functioning of the brain and nervous system, that is CNS and PNS, cerebrospinal nervous system and peripheral nervous system, and in the formation of blood, that is it takes part in circulation, and it is one of the 8 B vitamin. And cobalamin has a chlorine ring which is linked to the cobalt atom, which is held in the center of the chlorine ring by 4 coordination bonds with the nitrogen of the pyrrole groups. The remaining coordination bond of the cobalt are linked with the nitrogen and dimethyl benzimidazole nucleotide, and 6th bond is linked either methyl or 5-deoxy disonosyl or hydroxyl group to form methylcobalamin. So this was, here we are talking about the structure of Cyno-Cobalamin, that how this structure is formed, what are the various chains which are responsible for forming this particular vitamin. Now next we will discuss about the historical milestones, that who discovered this vitamin. So there are so many scientists, not only one. So one by one we will talk about them. So first, that is George Whipple. Second, George Richard Minot. And third, William Murphy. They also found that an entirely different liver substance cured pernicious anemia in human, which was called vitamin B12. Another scientist here, Edwin Cohen. He was a chemist. He prepared a liver extract. The extract was the first workable treatment for the disease. Another scientist, Mary Land and Mary Schwartz. So, Schwartz and his colleagues were isolated pure vitamin B12 in 1948. For this discovery, in 1949, Mary Johansen Award from the American Society of Nutritional Sciences. This was all about the historical milestone. Now next, I would like to discuss about the structure of vitamin B12 on an elaborated way. So, the chemical structure of the molecule was determined by Dorothy Crawford Hodgkin and her team in 1956 based on crystallography data. What are the physical properties and what are the chemical properties? So first of all, we'll discuss about the physical properties of this particular vitamin. That is, it is very stable at high temperature. Just if pH is ranged from 4.5 to 5, while the strong acidic and highly alkaline environment loses its vitamin activity. This vitamin is rapidly degraded in the light, and therefore it is necessary to keep it in dark places. Vitamin B12 is negatively affected by alcohol, sleeping pills, and estrogen, etc. Vitamin B12, as we have already discussed, that it is water-soluble. So it is soluble in water, ethanol, and methanol. Vitamin B12 are all deeply red colored crystals and water soluble. Now, why they have red color? Due to the color of the cobalt chlorine complex present in the vitamin B12, it imparts red color to this particular vitamin. Now, what are the chemical properties? Under the term vitamin B12, several compounds that are similar in chemical structure are included. They are classified Cyno-Cobalamin, oxycobalamin, nitrocobalamin, and aquacobalamin, etc. In the structure of vitamin B12, element cobalt is included. In the isolation of vitamin B12, we can get it from Cyno-Cobalamin derivative, in which structure enters cyanide group, which is linked to atom of cobalt. So these are the chemical properties of vitamin B12, and this was all about the structure of vitamin B12. Now next we will discuss about various types of vitamin B12, that what are the various forms. So let's start. First type or form of vitamin B12 is that is Cyno-Cobalamin. So pure Cyno-Cobalamin possesses the deep pink color, which is associated with most octahedral cobalt-2 complexes, and it is used to treat pernicious anemia, which is a type of anemia, and vitamin B12 deficiency. This was all about the first type. Now we will discuss about the second type, that is hydroxycobalamin. So is sometimes denoted by B12A. It has an wide affinity for cyanide ion and has been as an antidote to cyanide poisoning. It is supplied typically in water solution for injections. So this was all about the second type, that is hydroxycobalamin. Now third type of vitamin B12, that is methylcobalamin. So it is a cobalamin, a form of vitamin B12. It differs from Cyno-Cobalamin in that the cyanide is replaced by a methyl group here. And this particular type of vitamin B12 is used in the treatment of peripheral neuropathies, that is any disorder which is related to brain. The particular part here we are talking about, that is PNS, peripheral nervous system. So this particular type of vitamin B12, that is methylcobalamin, is used to treat PNS deformities which are present in the part of the brain. This was all about the third type. Another very rare type we also have, that is adenosylcobalamin. It is the major storage from the liver, but it's a very rare type, and scientist has we will discuss about the mechanism of vitamin B12 in the human body, that how synthesis of inadequately or independently capable of constructing vitamin B12 in their body because of lack of enzyme which is required for its biosynthesis. So it's very clear, and we have already discussed before that human body can't produce this particular vitamin in their body. They have to take it from outside. Means our various organs which are present in the human body are not capable of producing this particular vitamin, so human has to take it from outside sources. Later on we will discuss about those sources. So next, enzymes are, what are those enzymes? They are methionine synthase, methyl minoyl coenzyme A mutase. And industrial production of vitamin B12 is through fermentation of selected microorganisms. And those selected microorganisms are Acetobacterium, Aerobacter, Agrobacterium, Azotobacter, Bacillus, Clostridium, Corynebacterium, Flavobacterium, Lactobacillus, Micromonospora, Mycobacteria, Nocardia, Proteus, Pseudomonas, Rhizobium, Salmonella, Serratia, Streptomyces, Streptococcus, and Xanthalomonas. So these are the various organisms which are used for the production of this particular enzyme, which our body cannot make by itself. So this was all about the mechanism of vitamin B12, that how this various sources of vitamin B12, that what are the sources from which you can get this vitamin and you can complete a deficiency in your body. The good sources are eggs, animal liver, meat, milk, vegetables and grains, shellfish, various milk product, whether it's cheese or anything, it's curd, cereals, so almonds also, red meat, chicken, crab. So these are the various sources from which you may get this particular vitamin B12. By taking these sources, you can get rid of vitamin B12 deficiency. And these are the various sources. Now next we will discuss about the health benefits of vitamin B12, that why this vitamin B12 is necessary for our body. What is the need to take this vitamin? So first, now I would like to elaborate this particular statement, that how it acts as an antidote for cyanide poisoning. So we have a product that is called Cyno-Kit. It contains hydroxycobalamin, which is a form of vitamin B12, which we have already discussed. So it is used as an antidote to cyanide poisoning. So hydroxycobalamin work by helping cells in the body convert cyanide to form that can be removed from the body through urination. So this is how it acts as an antidote for cyanide poisoning. See, it plays a very essential role here. If a person suffers from cyanide poisoning and they have very few amount of vitamin B12 in their body, so they won't be able to tackle that problem. But if they have appropriate amount of vitamin B12 in their body, so they can tackle this problem, because the vitamin B12 will act like an antidote there for cyanide poisoning. This is the first point, first health benefit of taking vitamin B12. Second, it regulates the overproduction of allergens, antibody IgE, in allergic individuals. Third point, it is responsible for reducing depression. Now I would like to elaborate this term. So vitamin B12 work together with the compound that produce serotonin, which is a hormone, thus reduces the incidence of depression. This is very helpful to the elders whose production of serotonin is typically low. So vitamin B12 is also used in the treatment of anemia, which we have already discussed. So it has a major impact on brain. Third benefit, it helps in healthy regulation of homocysteine control. It helps to protect against cancer, including breast cancer, colon cancer, lung cancer, and prostate cancer. It is mainly used in a treatment of pernicious anemia. It is essential for healthy skin, hairs, and nails. It helps in cell production and constant renewal, regeneration of the skin. Next health benefit, it is responsible for reducing brain shrinkage. So this was all about the various health benefits which you may get by taking this vitamin B12 from outside sources. Now next, we will discuss about the dietary recommended intake. So for adults, it's 3 micrograms per day. For children, it's 2 micrograms per day. And for pregnancy and lactation, it's 4 micrograms per day. So this is recommended dietary allowance, or you can say dietary intake. Now next we will discuss about the various deficiency of vitamin B12. So here we will discuss about the deficiencies which will be produced if you have very low intake of this particular vitamin, that is vitamin B12. So let's discuss about those deficiencies. So first is a low energy, or you can say fatigue. Second, you will have sexual problems like infertility. Third, you will have depression and anxiety. You will have muscle pains. Next, you will feel irritable, means irritability complex is more here. Next, hearing and vision problems will be there. Next, mood disorders. Mood disorders means here, one time you feel happy, your brain has also linked vitamin B12 deficiency too, means it can also cause very fatal diseases, that is Alzheimer's disease. Second, dementia means forgetfulness, which is an old age problem, I think. And learning disorders in children. Next, autoimmune disease. Next, CVS disease means cardiovascular disease. Diseases which are related to your heart. It can be myocardial infarction, it can be rheumatic fever, it can be PDA, it can be DBS, and so on. Diseases which are associated with heart. Next, that is cancer. So these are the various deficiencies which you may get if you don't have adequate amount of vitamin B12 in your body. So here you can see it plays a very vital role in our body. So it is a very essential vitamin for our body. So if a person suffer from vitamin B12 deficiency, so this was all about for today. That is vitamin B12. Here we have discussed about its structure, its sources, its various types, its dietary allowance, and especially its deficiencies. So this was all about for today. See you guys in our next video. Till then, stay connected with us, and don't forget to subscribe and comment below. And thanks for watching our video.